Why are they still out of stock? When will they be back in stock? What can I do until then? What about Vega? Stay tuned. Welcome back to GamerMeld. I did a video a little while back explaining what's going on with the GPU shortages. Check that video out if you want to get an idea. Either way, since I posted it, I've had a ton of gamers who are in the market for a new GPU asking when stock will level back out, what to do if you're trying to buy a GPU right now, and even how Vega might be affected. Before we begin, if you like what you see here, consider supporting the channel on Patreon, or head on over to the GamerMeld Discord server to chat about all things hardware and gaming. I'll have those linked in the description below. To the first question, I don't know for sure, but there is some good news, and at least an indication of the answer. I've seen where people are claiming to know both companies are raising production to meet demand, and while they aren't viable sources, I have zero doubt that it's true. The issue is once a huge batch comes in, how fast before stock goes out again. PC Games In spoke with Sapphire at Computex, to which they said miners are buying GPUs in the thousands to keep their mining plants up. The thing is, manufacturers can only produce so fast without something like opening up more fabrication plants, or should I say getting more out of GlobalFoundries, Samsung, etc., and that takes time and a lot of money. The issue is that the current craze will almost certainly be short-lived, as we saw with Bitcoin, so it would be foolish of GPU makers to spend the required amount to heavily ramp up production when it won't be required for long. Eventually, you'll almost certainly need proprietary tech or it won't be worth it. Luckily, retailers are taking notice. For example, Scan Computers International, one of UK's biggest hardware retailers, have begun only selling 2 GTX 1060s per sale, so they're able to give gamers at least an opportunity to purchase one. Other retailers will have to determine what they're going to do and whether it's worth the possibility of losing some huge sales to cater to their more usual audience. A company who did risk it, though, could look great to consumers in the future when the current mining surge is over. To top it off, it's still a rumor, but becoming more and more likely as time goes on, and that's the AMD and Nvidia are setting up to sell mining GPUs that are less expensive and better optimized for cryptocurrency. This of course means miners would be able to purchase mining cards, while gamers could purchase the traditional GPUs. Now, I've seen some who think no one would buy these because these cards are rumored not to have display out, so you couldn't resell them. Remember that miners are more than likely going to run the cards until they completely go out. So at least for the bigger miners, the likelihood of them selling the card later wouldn't be worth the additional upfront cost, especially when we're talking more hashes for less. One issue is whether AMD and Nvidia can offer enough of these cards to quench the thirst of current miners, or they'll still end up buying up regular GPUs at the same time. So the question then becomes, what do you do? Unfortunately, there really aren't that many options. One is to find a tracking service that keeps up with stock so you can be ready the second one becomes available. I'll actually have that linked for you in the description below. The second is to go over and click the notify button on every GPU so you can get a notification the second that they're in stock. Lastly is an unfortunate one, but it is to pay the inflated prices due to the high demand. Of course, if you're going to, you might as well get something like the 1080 Ti for roughly the same price. Hopefully we won't have to wait too much longer for either Ethereum to be less worth it to mine, AMD and Nvidia sell mining GPUs, or are able to raise production to meet the demand. I'm hoping one of these will come within a month or two, but no one knows for sure. One thing of course is certain, eventually it will stabilize. I'd personally suggest waiting, but if you really do want to and are willing to pay upwards of $600 for a card that performs at a, say, $300 level, that's certainly up to you. Lastly, I'm hearing questions about Vega and how it might be affected. Well, for one, there were already rumors that Vega would have some shortages to begin with thanks to its high bandwidth memory. And the fact that it does have high bandwidth memory and AMD typically offers much higher teraflops for the price, there's definitely a chance miners will be quick to jump on the carts. The launch won't be for a couple months though, so hopefully things will have calmed down by then, but like I said, there's really no guarantees. So what do you think about the current GPU market? Are you just waiting to see what happens, or have you been lucky enough to snag one before the insanity? Let me know in the comments below. That does it for now. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the round icon in the middle. You can check out the most recent video and suggest a video to the left. Thanks so much for coming, and as always, have a great day.